Now I know you've already looked at this title and you've probably thought to yourself, Odin, you're just ripping off Corey Coyote. And my answer to that is, yes, I am. But with his permission. I asked him if I could do this video, and he said it's fine. And this video, if you haven't seen his already, Corey Coyote, is fursuiting on Grindr. And that is where I created a Grindr profile, and the picture is of my fursuit to see how people would react, to see what they would say, what conversations I would get. Now Grindr's an app that I haven't used prior to this. I've never really liked the app. I think it's kind of gross most of the time. Not all the time. I'm sure you can meet some gems, wonderful, amazing people. But a lot of times, you'll see there's a lot of not great people on the app. And Grindr, if you're not aware, is a gay hookup app. Yes, technically there's a dating aspect. But as you'll see, 99.999% of the people on the app just want to get it on. So I created a profile with my fursuit picture, very sexy. And here, I'll show you my profile here. And by the way, this app is awful. They like to play an ad every like 2 milliseconds. It is the worst. And they're like, pay for it. You could pay for it. And it's like, no, I will not. But you can see I use this spicy picture of my fursuit. Very cute, very sexy. It's the draw over. I love it. And I said, I'm a wolf, 31. Simple, right? And then description, I just say hi. I'm 5'6", 150 pounds. I don't know, probably around there. I'm white. I have an average body type. I'm a man. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a top. I'm single. And then I just said looking for. I applied all of them so I could get the widest net of people. And they have chat, dates, friends, networking, relationship. Right now! Right now means you want to get it on. Right now! Right now! That's what this type of app is. HIV status negative. Meet at my place or your place. Spoiler alert, I didn't meet anyone. Accepts NSFW pics. Yes, please. Why not? And then I also linked my Twitter so they can see it. You can see there's this grid of people, and most of them are just like really close, awkward facial pictures, nothing, or like butt and bulge pictures, because that's just the type of app this is. I'm gonna censor most of this. But let's go to my chats, and I'm sure we'll get an ad within 2 seconds. Now the first one I got, their name is just eye emoji for right now. They say, hey, I want you to fuck me in your suit. And I said, what suit? And they said, in your fursuit. And I said, how do I do that? And they said, just wear it while you fuck me. And I said, convince me. And then they sent me a picture of themselves that was really awful, and of course it had their weenie. And that's where that conversation ended. That gives you a really good example of this app and how most conversations go. Except for the fact that he knew what a fursuit was, which, you know, is a little sus. The next one, their name is Royal, and they said, hello. And I said, as a dog would, bark. And they said, how was your night? I said, dark, because it was nighttime. And they said, okay. And I said, yeah. And they said, my name is Royal. And I said, wow, are you a king? And they said, not hardly. And I said, oh. And they said, I'm a bottom sexually. And I said, I'm a bottom spiritually. And they just said, okay. And that was the entire conversation. Like, what is that segue? This is my name. What's up? I'm a bottom. And it's like, okay, I'm not. What is your... Wow, a little forward. Jeez. Oh, this one was a long one. Hello, bark woof, I say. What are you into? And I said, bark woof, bark bark. And they said, you be fun, but she has to work tonight. What? And I just said, bark. And they said, where are you like they keep going, and all I'm doing is barking. Where are you located? And I say, bark. And they say, okay then. And then I say, grr. And then they say, well, you have fun. And then I say, of course, woof. I would like to play with you. Like, all I've said is bark and woof. And then I said, like, a game? Question mark. Me, Nintendo? And they say, okay. And then I said, oh nice, what game? And they say, I have a PS4. So clearly, they don't have a Nintendo game. And I said, cool, cool. And they say, what do you like to do? And I said, bark at stuff. And then they said, LOL, I'm a bottom. What is with people on this app just announcing that they're a top or bottom? Like, what does that have to do with the conversation? I say, I don't see how that's related, but all right. They say, okay, what do you want to do? And I said, bark at stuff still. And they finally say, I'm sorry, but this seems to be going nowhere. Good luck. And I said, bark. And they said, you have fun with that. It took them that long to be like, wait a minute. Maybe he's just messing with me. Not the brightest crayon in the box. This one's a long one. And their name is just, what's that? They say, hi. I say, bark. LOL, how are you? bark. See, I'm trying the bark thing again. They said, sorry, I'm new to this community, but I'm very interested. And then I'm like, what community? And they say furry, and that side of the community. And I said, I'm not a furry. I just have 2 fursuits. And they're like, oh, okay. That checks out. Well, I really want to try fucking someone in a fursuit? I mean, is that because I'm definitely not trying to offend? Which, I appreciate this guy. He's not being rude or anything. And that's why I, kind of, started to back off of it on the, I say, why do you want to do that? And he says, I think it may be hot. Do you have any pics? And I said, bitch, do you? And then he said, yeah, of course. And then he immediately sends me an ass picture and then a weenie picture, of course. And I say, that's a pee-pee. And he says, what? And I say, what? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's a picture of your pee-pee. That's a pee-pee. And he said, yeah, and my ass, LOL. And I said, yup. And he says, is that bad? I say, is what bad? And then to him, that I sent that. And I said, I don't care, LOL. And then he's like, can I see any of you or no? And then I sent him a picture of me in Mursuit. I say, fine, just one. He says, wow, now I'm and I'm like, wowzers. And he says, sorry, LOL, dang. And I say, what? And he's like, so you don't want to do anything then? And I just sent him a pup emoji. Okay, so how would I ask you, mate? And I said, bark for me. And he said, bark. And then I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of weak. And he goes, bark, better. And I was like, I guess. And that's where that conversation ended. I feel a little bad because he's like, I want to get into furries. And hey, if you're watching this video, comment below. There's better ways than Grindr to get into furries. I promise you. Also, comment below your Grindr stories because I bet a lot of you have used it and a lot of you have had really funny conversations or stories. I want to hear from you. And this one is so funny. His name is Looking to Meet Up, and he just immediately sends a weenie picture without any context. And I said, that's a penis. To which he says, oh, you're one of those people. F*** off. Annoyed already. And I just said, oh. He just sends me a dick picture and I go, yep, that's a dick picture. And he's like, wow, I'm annoyed already. How dare you point that out? What a garbage person. And this one, they start off with, go a big cock. And then they send a butt picture, and then a question mark, and they said extra points if it's got a knot. And I said, a knot, you say? I was like, you want to see mine? It's big. And they say, sure. And so I sent them a picture of a knot. Here it is. And I say, think you can take it? And they said, ha, no. And then they send a tentacle picture. And I'm like, what? And they said, I take this, the reg. And I said, what the hell is that bad dragon knockoff, LOL? And they say, yeah, pretty much it does the job for now. And I said, tell Tentacle Tim I said hello. And they say, funny, I'm looking if you want to top. And I said, looking for what? And they say, a big to fuck me. And I just say, oh. And they say, yup. And I'm like, all right, well, how big? And they're like, fairly big. And like I said, I love to feel / try to take a knot. And I'm like, I don't have a knot? And they say, I know, I meant with a dildo if you wanted to make me take it. And I said, gay. And they say, yeah, and? I say, homosexual. And they say, that's kind of the point of this app. That is very true. And I just said, whoa. And that's the end of that conversation. This person's name is Let's Make Out. Hey, how's it going? Me. Gay, mostly. Them. Same. Me. Whoa. Them. What? Me. What? I have never been by a furry. Okay. And I said, sus. And they said, I'm serious. And then I say, what's a furry? And they go, what you are? And I go, oh. Are you sure? And they go, yeah. And I just go, oh. And they don't... They didn't say anything after that. So I guess they didn't want to be boinked by a furry that hard. Oh, and then this one, their original name was looking for big and then emoji for an eggplant. And I said, how big, bro? And they said, how big what? And I said, oh, is that a Mad Lib? Paperclip. And they said, LOL, you're funny. What are you doing? And I said, I'm typing on my phone to you. And then they didn't respond. So I'm noticing a theme in the Grindr app that people just will message you for 5 seconds while they're in the mood, and then they just stop messaging everyone. This person says, heyo, and I said, bark. And they said, rough. And I go, so I see you also speak degenerate. And they go, mayhaps. And I was like, whoa, nice. And they said, ya swooning lamafo. And I said, swooning over what? And they say, my degenerate speak. And I said, nah, I've seen better. Needs more uwu. And that's the end of that conversation. And this one's a nice one. They said, hey, what's up? I said, bark. And they said, love your fursuit. It's cute as F. And I said, gasp. He knows what a fursuit is. And they say, LOL, so what's up? Would really like to explore the furry world more, but no one who's into it. And I said, why are you interested in furries? Kinda hard to plane kinda started as a werewolf thing, and I saw a B-star kinda think furries are kinda hot. Kinda wish I was a real furry. And I said, ha. That's a little confusing, but I think they're trying to say werewolves and B-stars. And B-stars is gonna get a lot of furries, I'm telling you guys. And this person's called Daddy. And they start out with this line, any interest in topping mature men? And I said, oh, what's your favorite topping? Pepperoni? And they said pineapple, which ugh, worst response. And I said, ew, degenerate. And they say, people like to say that about furries and dog boys, but I know better. Kind of a good quip, not gonna lie. And I just go, dog boys. And they say, LOL, that's an inside joke that I would take long to explain. And then they never message me again, which is entirely fair after that exchange. And this person says, hi. And I said, bark. And they said, how are you? What are you looking for? And I said, I don't know. I think I lost my keys. And they responded that with, I want to suck a cock. And I just go, I don't see how that's related to my keys. And that's the end of that conversation. This one's great. Hey, bark. That's it. And this is just a typical message. Hi, butt pictures. The same butt picture. You available now? And I just didn't respond. Another one, face picture, body, butt, and wiener. And they just said, looking for fun tonight? And this person's name is really classy, and then it's swap beats. And they say, good morning, and then a cock emoji, and I say, hi, and then they never messaged again. And this person, hi, I'm a newer bottom, only been with one guy and looking to suck and possibly more, face picture. And I said, I'm a wolf? And they said, that's fine, be whatever you want, I just want a nice and to be good. And I just said, bark? Oh, and this one, they said, I will serve. And I said, serve what? Like food? And then they just say, looking, and send a butt picture. And I say, I'm glad you found it. And while I was recording this, I received a picture of, admittedly, a very nice butt. And their name is just, I'm need butt, I hunger. And also, while I was sitting here, I received some really nice putt pictures, but that's unrelated. So that's all the messages that I got while fursuiting on Grindr. Now, I learned some things about Grindr, and that's that most people are just like, here's my butt, let's and I'm just like, oh my god, no thank you. But there were a couple of people that were like genuinely interested in furries, and I'm just like, huh, look up furries on YouTube, maybe they'll help you out. And there's actually some cool pups on there, and like, I don't know why I'm more apt to meet pups, even though they're on Grindr and I don't like Grindr, but to be fair, I was technically on Grindr, even though it was for a video, so I really can't judge them for being on Grindr. But if you like this video, I can certainly have plenty of more conversations with people in fursuit on Grindr, especially if I travel. I'm sure I'll get lots of special conversations and a lot of special people. Let me know if you enjoyed this. I don't know how this compares to how Corey did his video, because admittedly that was filmed like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I haven't watched it since. So again, shout outs to Corey Coyote for the video idea, but here's my version of it where I read conversations and I mess with people, and here it is. I fursuited on Grindr. I hope you guys are happy with me. That's a lot of censoring I'm gonna have to do. Oh my god. If you like this video, be sure to check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/OdinWolf. It is the best way to support me. It is how I can keep doing videos for you guys every single week. And also check out odinwolf.stormv.com, where I have merch like this bandana and this shirt. And you can send stuff to my P.O. box and I'll open up for you guys in a future video. And actually at the end of this video, I'm going to show some stuff I did get from my P.O. box. I think this is how I'm going to do it from now on. I'm just going to show like pictures of what people sent me and thank them that way, because doing a full video where I'm like in suit and fumbling around is a lot. So I think I'm just going to show like a few things that I've received at the end of the video, and that's just kind of a bonus. So if you listen to this whole spiel that I give every video and stick around, you'll see what people have sent to my P.O. box. It's pretty cool. Anyway, here's that stuff, and it's been Odin Wolf, and bye-bye! I hope that recorded. In my P.O. box, I was sent this special postcard, which is a little yikes, but it is vintage, as they pointed out, from the 1940s. So thank you for sending that to me. And I also received this package. It was really cool because I love Biker Mice from Mars, and they knew that. It's actually like one of the first like furry shows I saw, and I loved it as a kid. I wanted to be a biker mice. It's really sentimental to me. So they sent me a Super Nintendo reproduction cart and reproduction box, which is really cool because I also like vintage video game collecting. I'm actually getting into it more lately, so this is really cool. So thank you for sending this to my P.O. box as well. I really appreciate it. And as always, I want to thank my patrons for last month, especially Timmy at the Timmy Donut tier. Timmy gets his own tier because he is the best boy on earth. And he really likes armpits. Anyway, thank you, Timmy, for all your support. And everybody at Diamond, Cody B, Conlo, Cosmo, Deku Panda, Brian B, Dosey Do, Lindsay, Slip Fox Socks, and Pup Happy. Thank you all for your Diamond support last month. Huge, amazing support. You guys are the best people on Earth. And everybody at Platinum, Tantanka, J Skulls, Dynamo,
Coco the Fox, Rubber Deer, Emil Yaffa. Thank you all for your platinum support last month. Again, it's a huge amount to give to me each month, and these people are absolutely incredible for being this generous. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And everybody at gold, silver, and other tiers, thank you so much.